Welcome back, listeners, to another edition of Hear Me Out. It's the podcast with Felix Black, a.k.a. the man with the golden guns, representing VidThru.com. Today I have a guest, and I don't think you guys are ready for this guest. I'm just going to put that out there, right? I was able to get this guy. He's in high demand right now. So he goes by the ambassador of the Viking Mode Movement.
That sounds amazing. That sounds beautiful.
Mr. IamVikng, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Just enjoying life, buddy. Just, Viking mode every day. That's how I roll.
How's everything going with the with your channel and stuff like that?
It's going good, man. We got some exciting changes coming up. I'm actually going to be flipping the tables a bit. I'm going to be coming back to some commentary type stuff, which I haven't done in a while. The only problem I find with that is that, I have not playing a Call of Duty for so long that my skills are on the down slope.
Yes.
So finding actually gameplay to put up is I know, I try to go for more of the commentary side of things anyways, but, you still want to have something people can watch. So, but I'm gonna be doing that. I got a couple gameplays saved up there. I'm gonna be working on that, and then also bringing in a new series, and this is really exciting. Kind of like a reality TV type of deal. Really fun stuff. It's called Viking Mode.
Viking Mode.
Oh yeah,
so before we get into the show,
all right,
for those of people out there who don't know you, and if they don't know what the Viking Mode Movement is, they're lost. But we're gonna inform them tonight.
Break it down.
Just let them know who you are and exactly what the Viking Mode is.
All right. IAmVikng. All right, that's what I do. That's how I roll. The Viking Mode Movement, actually, you had put out a video asking subscribers to send you a video. And I came on board with that, and I was like, hey, Felix, I'm, long time listener, first time writer, blah, 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 blah. And sent you the video, and you threw it up, and you were talking about no more beast mode, we're going Viking mode, and then I took that and I ran with it. So Viking mode was born on that day. Twitter Viking Mode Movement, check me out, always rocking stuff there. My channel for sure, and of course VidThru, man. The Viking Mode Movement is pretty much doing your best at anything that you do is Viking mode. Whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's posting videos, whether it's, I don't know, doing yard work, man. I went Viking mode on the yard this last weekend, bro. Playing stuff, laying it was unreal, man. I went hard. So, yeah, man, it's just going big or going home, really.
Okay, so you have this, you said a new reality type series. Can
you
get into that without spilling all the beans on that?
Yeah, I'll dabble a little bit. I don't want to give too much away. Going to be a lot of different things. Anything from, just going off on, I guess, situational things. There's going to be some challenge type stuff. So even like some food challenges. Not even like, we're not talking cinnamon challenge, milk challenge. Like all those things are so outplayed. I'm going to be coming up with some new crazy things that nobody's going to be doing. And if they have, congratulations, guess what? You can ride my coattails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just a lot of different things. I'm going to try to keep it broad spectrum, and I'm going to try to get a lot of people involved as far as like guests on the show and things like that. So it's going to be really exciting, and I'm hoping to actually have that out the middle of this month, if not a little later, but just trying to iron out all the details. So.
Okay, so is the name of the series Viking Mode?
Oh yeah. Got to keep it true, man. Viking Mode. # Viking Mode. Boom. So if you ever follow me on Twitter, you'll see that pop up almost daily. Oh dude, I just crushed it at work. Viking Mode. Boom. Throw it out.
Get that trending on Twitter, man.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Just have to go tough,
right?
And get it trending.
Exactly. Yeah, Viking Mode, dude. It's it's going to be the sole entity. It's going to be, I want to say the building block, but it's going to be the basis of my channel, just because it's going to be like a weekly thing. So it'll be constant, and it'll be always something new and something fresh.
Okay, looking forward to that. Hopefully everyone else is. Of course, your channel will be linked and all of that in the video.
For sure.
The logistics of everything. So you're partnered with VidThru. Snazzy background you got there. Very snazzy.
Yes. I love that background. Thank you, Hutch Designs.
Hutch Designs with
Hutch
the free
Designs.
promo.
Yeah, man.
So once they approached you, right? Because I know you have a smaller channel about being partnered.
Right.
Like, how did you feel about that? Were you, I'm not gonna say against it, but were you kind of hesitant about accepting it being small? Like, how did you feel about that being small and getting a partnership?
I was actually a little taken back by it, because Bill came to me and, kind of broke it down and said, that we really like what you do, and you put a lot of time and effort into your videos, and we can tell, and you're entertaining, and so when he told me that, I mean, ultimately I was flattered, first off, because I think when he came to me, I was only sitting maybe 45 subs, so super small time, and I was a little hesitant, and the reason being is that I was actually a director on a community channel that wasn't, I don't want to say it was bad, but it wasn't, I guess, as professional as I had hoped.
Okay.
So just a lot of ins and outs that I didn't like. So I was really wary, but they sent me over kind of like, the contract and terms and conditions and things like that. And ultimately everything was run so smoothly and so professionally that, once I put that into perspective and kind of, figured out what they wanted from me and vice versa, it was a no-brainer. I mean, those guys over there are so awesome and so professional that it made sense to me.
So do you have any advice for smaller YouTubers? People who think that, because I have 30 subs, I can't get partner or anything like that. You have any advice for them?
Oh, yeah. First of all, I mean, spend time on the production of your videos. I mean, don't just, use the Hopog recorder and throw it up. I mean, you want to make it look as clean and professional as possible. Secondly, social networking is huge. I mean, I would have never met good Sir Mr. Felix Black here or BK without Twitter. You know what I mean?
Twitter is where it goes down. I've been saying that.
Twitter. Like, I was so hesitant to do anything Twitter. I was like, oh my God, this is so like, SoCal, like trendy thing, and I'm from the Midwest. So I was like, and I'm a mountain boy. All I need is my gun and my fishing rod.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got on Twitter, got a IamVikng Twitter account hooked up there and just started shooting the shit. So like, I hooked up with you on YouTube, and then ultimately, we talked on Twitter, and then, other names come up like Rondre and all these people. And then you just kind of get to know everybody. It's like I don't know, it's almost like a disease, but in a good way, So without social networking, man, there's no way I'd be where I'm at right now for sure.
That's cool. Twitter. If you guys
Twitter.
do not have a Twitter account, you're missing out.
One. Yeah. I guess one last thing too. I mean, don't give up. I mean, just because
definitely,
I wasn't getting any views, I wasn't getting hits and nothing. I mean, you learn little things as far as tags and titles of the video and things like that that'll help you along the way. But just don't give up. I mean, if you're doing it and you love it, just go for it, man. Viking mode.
So, do you still see YouTube as a hobby, or has it become more of a business for you? Like, how do you view it?
I guess a little bit of both. Because I guess I've never worked at a place that I really love and enjoy. And I mean, this is a business. I am contracted. I work for somebody, but I love to do it. So I guess at that aspect, it is a business, but it's still something very, very exciting and fun for me to do. So, I mean, might as well do it still. It's a good mix, I want to say, of business and pleasure. Have your cake and eat it too, kind of thing.
So do you still, when it comes to gameplay and commentary,
Mm-hmm.
on your channel, this is a two-part question because one is
Okay.
on your channel and one is when you're viewing other YouTubers. On your channel, which one do you think is more important? Like when you're posting a video,
As far as either,
whether it
I
has
guess,
to be beast gameplay or like
mm,
an awesome game or
okay,
a nice commentary that makes people think, makes people laugh,
sure.
whatever.
So I think, for my channel, I love doing Let's Plays, but ultimately that's not really what brings in the views. I mean, as long as there's a topic or a subject or something like that somebody can listen to
Mm-hmm.
and connect with and relate with, that's where you get the views from. I mean, people don't want to sit there and watch me talk about, oh, I just shot that guy in the face and then I went and picked up his ammo. You know what I mean? So as
Yeah.
long as there's some kind of content there that's actually worth clicking on, um, I'm not a big gameplay guy. I mean, we've all seen 1.5 billion Moabs, world's fastest Moab, triple Moab, all these things.
Yep.
It's still impressive, but you've seen it enough that it's like, okay, cool. Do I really care? Not unless you have something interesting to say that's going to keep my attention. So I think personally on my channel, it's more about the connection with people. Getting comments is my favorite thing. When somebody rates and comments my video,
Yeah.
I try to get back to everybody just because it's that interaction. As far as what I watch on
Yeah. Like
YouTube,
when you go to search, what are you looking
mhm.
for?
I'm ultimately I'm looking for, I guess, kind of the same thing. I just want to be entertained. I want to be able to sit there and enjoy what's happening. So a good commentary, even my boy Make Believe XP does some Let's Plays, and that
Mm-hmm.
guy's just funny, man. I mean, the things that come out of that guy's mouth are
Are interesting.
they're very interesting, very interesting.
Shout
But
out to Make Believe XP. Shout out to
there you
him.
go, there you go. But it's a wide spectrum of things. I mean, there's a bunch of guys on YouTube that I watch religiously, and it's not because they have beast gameplays. It's more of what they're actually bringing to the viewers, meaning real life topics
Yeah.
or things of that nature. That's more of an intellectual skill than like a 12-year-old going apeshit on Call of Duty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course, I know because I've been
All right.
preaching that.
Oh yeah.
The commentary aspect, and I kind of got away from that myself,
Hmm.
and thinking that the gameplay didn't matter. It does to some,
Right.
and I always say this is people want to post what they want to post,
Right.
but to a certain extent, your channel is viewer driven. So
Exactly.
it's just like anything else. You have to kind of cater to what people want to see. If that's your aim, if your aim is to get bigger, which I doubt anyone buys a hapog, buys a microphone in order to just stay at 2 subscribers and get like 3 views a video.
What's funny about that is that when I started this thing,
Yeah.
I simply started it because
Yeah,
my
why
boy
did you
Glover.
start YouTube? That's a good question.
Yeah, my boy Glover, and I was like, oh, I was just filming stuff from my phone, like my dog's playing in the backyard or something, and I just threw it on YouTube just because.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, I put one up too, and I was like, sweet, and I went and checked it out, and it was Call of Duty. I'm like, how did you do that? And so he kind of ran me down and was like, oh, well, I better go get that because that's something I want to do. I want to do that now, you know.
Yeah.
And so I was doing it, and I didn't even know when I started this thing. I didn't even know people got paid to do YouTube.
Yeah.
I had no idea. It was like beyond me to think that somebody was getting paid to play games. You know what I mean? And so I had a Roxio game capture, which was, really, I guess, novice comparatively. Then I went out and got the Pog and some good editing software, and I started it with all like the intention to just entertain myself,
Yeah.
honestly, and like I said, it kind of turned into this thing, which is even more amazing than I ever thought it was going to be. So, kind of good, kind of a nice surprise.
Always, man.
Yeah.
Always. So, what are some of the roadblocks that you've personally faced as far as with YouTube, whether it be, you know, not having ideas, uh, haters, you know what I mean? Like, what
Mm.
are some of your roadblocks that you've come across in your time on YouTube?
Um, I think the biggest roadblock is actually balancing life and YouTube.
Uh huh.
I have a family, I have a daughter, so it's actually really balancing the two to where I'm spending enough time with them, but then I also want to be able to produce enough content for the things I'm doing on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a hard balance. Other than that, I mean, I guess commentator's block, and that's kind of why I stopped doing commentaries, is because everybody that was doing them for the most part was just bitching about games, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like, well,
That's the
that's not something
YouTube
I want to
way.
talk about, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that's the popular thing, like, but that's not me. I don't want to come out and just bash these things. Like, I wouldn't be playing it if I hated it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think commentator's block or writer block or whatever you want to call it was, and still is to this day, probably one of the hardest things to deal with, because to be honest with you, I don't watch a whole lot of news. Um, I try to stay out of a lot of negativity, so I don't have anything to bitch about, and it's hard to come up with topics to actually grasp people's attention, because people, like, they crave for that drama.
Yeah.
So I think that's a hard thing for me.
Controversy definitely sells on YouTube.
Exactly.
There's always both sides well, I would say two sides to any argument, and you're gonna have people that agree and just subscribe to you, even though
Right.
all your videos aren't even like that. You know what I mean? Because I think rant videos are kind of those one-time things.
Right.
You rant periodically, unless you're like El
Sure.
Presidor and you can rant daily.
You just do it on an
Yeah.
hourly basis.
And then you have those the people that don't like what you're saying, and they'll come by, leave comments, and view the video just because they don't like it. So
Right.
there's definitely a market for it if someone wants that stress. To me, that's just too stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I
agree.
think it should be more about working with people than kind of just saying, well, his content is terrible. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
take my time to make a video, edit it. To me, that just seems a little bit overkill, and I don't think anyone virtually is that important. Like, I've
Right.
done my share of rants,
Sure.
and it's never been aimed at one person specifically. It's more the community as a whole, because from what I just get a certain vibe sometimes,
Yeah.
and that's usually what I'm challenging. Is I really don't think I would go one on one with someone over the internet. I mean, that's come on, man.
Well, it's funny because you hear these kids on Call of Duty and just talking the biggest game ever, and I just have to laugh. I'm like, dude, it's a video game. Like, you're halfway across the world. Like, that you just call my mom fat doesn't mean a thing to me. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely, man.
Wesley
Absolutely.
Snipes 420. I don't care, bro.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was funny. My little brother, man, he goes off on that thing. Like, you hear him screaming half a mile away, and I'm like, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I've never been a shit talker. I was like, if I'm gonna beat you, I'll show you the scoreboard.
And then some
So,
people think that that's just like whatever. You're just like, I
right,
won though. They're just like, I don't care. And I wasn't trying.
right,
It's definitely a culture change.
definitely.
And maybe that's just on YouTube. Maybe that's just on Xbox, PS3. whatever. But there was a time where, I mean, winning meant something.
Right.
It wasn't the end all be all, but people wanted to win,
It
and
feels good to win.
it does. It does. And I actually have I'm gonna make a video about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. It's an exclusive right there.
Right.
I just want to make sure
Sneak
I do
peek.
it right. Yeah.
Nice.
So the last part is outside of YouTube.
hmm
What do you do? Like, who are you? Are you still Viking mode outside of YouTube? Or are you just, a chill persona?
Outside of YouTube, yeah, man, I'm pretty laid back. I mean, if I have my mind set to something, I'm gonna do it. Viking mode, because that's how I roll.
Yeah.
But I'm laid back. I hang out with my family. I do the normal work thing. I actually play hockey a couple nights a week. That helps keep my mind intact.
That's right. You're from Denver.
That's right.
Colorado, man. It's cold out there.
Not today. But yeah, man, I just I love doing things outdoors, and I guess that kind of comes with the territory. So like hiking, backpacking, snowboarding, wakeboarding. But ultimately, man, I just also love just kicking it with some friends. Just hey, you want to go get some wings and have a beer? Yeah, let's do that. So
Yeah. So how you commentate on YouTube is the same way that you are when you're away from YouTube?
yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's just because I'm not a very aggressive person to begin with. I'm really lackadaisical, go with the flow kind of guy. So I don't ever really have a lot of aggression to put out. So yeah, I mean, I guess I try to keep it all kind of in perspective between the two. I mean, other than being Viking mode all the time, there's no real difference, man. I'm me. Try to keep it original.
It's that simple. I'm me.
Yep. I'm me.
All right, man. Well, that's pretty much it, man. That was IamVikng. You got any last words? Do your shout out thing, say your hellos, all of that good stuff, man. It's the Hear Me Out podcast.
Right on. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Felix Black. Thanks for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I've been trying to get on this exclusive Hear Me Out podcast for a while now, so thank you for that. Also want to throw shouts out, obviously, to VidThru and the entire crew. You guys are amazing. Thank you for having me on the team. It really means a lot. And if anybody's seen Globe or not, please let me know. MIA. Put his face on the back of a milk carton. Gone. But yeah, guys, stop by the channel. It's IamVikng. Follow me on Twitter. We mess around on Twitter. We have a great time. So, I appreciate you guys. Everything, every little view, every subscription means a lot. So
that's it.
There we are, man. Oh, I love you, Mom and Dad.
All right. Felix Black, man, here with IamVikng. Let me just say, man, originally when I met IamVikng, I thought he was from the UK. It was the Viking thing, man. It threw me for a loop.
That's funny.
And he was like, "No, man, I'm from Colorado." I was like, "Oh, okay." Definitely, man. He's a good dude. That's all I can say, man. And that goes past YouTube, because a lot of things that I'm on Twitter more or less for people's thoughts and not necessarily see what people are doing during the day. But Twitter to me isn't, go like my video,
right?
And a promotion for YouTube. I know a lot of people follow YouTubers on there, but the people that I follow tweet, whether it be, man, work sucks, or I'm here at the bar and it's crazy, just normal everyday people stuff, and you get to know people past being commentators. I mean, we talk on Skype all the time, so I mean, it goes just past commentating, man. Just check out his channel. He does the Let's Play thing, and even though I'm not a fan of the Let's Plays, when I stop by to watch and listen. Because that's
It's
what I do, man. I
appreciated.
try to support people, man. Regardless, if I like the content, I like the person. So I can just cut off the screen and just listen, while I do something in the kitchen or
Right.
while I'm surfing the internet. But definitely, I recommend IamVikng, part of the VidThru team. VidThru,
Thank
man,
you.
we're changing the game over at VidThru.
For sure. We're going to take over the world, man. No doubt about
We're
it.
trying to, man. We're trying to, one director at a time.
There you go.
But that's been Hear Me Out, man. Episode, what is this, 11? Man,
11.
11.
Oh, speaking of that, real quick. I sent this out in a tweet, but on my phone, I can get every single Hear Me Out podcast in the touch of a button. It's amazing. Episodes 1 through 10. Boom.
They need
Got 'em.
that. What's the
Right?
name of that app?
It's called Double Twist. It's just like a music app, but they have a button there that says podcast, and I was like, let me just check it out. I clicked it. I typed in Felix Black. Boom, Hear Me Out.
Really?
All 10 episodes. Oh, yeah.
All podcasts from wherever? Was
Yeah,
it
just
from
search.
iTunes or from the
No, it's actually on the. Well, I'm sure you could get it on Apple. I have an Android-based phone, so
Okay.
yeah. I just went to the Google Play Market and downloaded this because I wanted some music from my computer on my phone, and they have a bunch of different options when you go into it. It has obviously your music there, but it also has podcasts, radio. You can do videos. But yeah, I just clicked podcast the other day, and I was like, well, I want to see if I can find Felix Black. And I searched Felix Black, and there it was. Hear Me Out, episodes
That's
1 through
cool,
10.
man. I did not
Yeah.
know that. I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to link that. It is something that you can go to on the computer.
You can go to on the computer. It's actually a downloadable app for any smartphone as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll definitely link that. Man, you guys need to get episode 1 through 10.
Yep. I
Actually,
got
we're
it.
getting
Nail it
better
down.
with these podcasts, man. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on the podcast. I needed guests, someone to talk to.
Yeah, buddy, anytime.
All right. Well, we'll definitely have IamVikng back. This was his kind of introduction to everyone. But we'll be back with some bloopers, some folly, some fun, some Viking Mode moments, too.
Indeed.
All right, but that's Hear Me Out, episode 11 with IamVikng, Felix Black, a.k.a. the man with the golden guns. And always remember, never stop, never settle, continue to chase the dream. I'm out.